This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Good morning, and thank you for waking up with us here on this Sunday. I'm Galen Etlin. The time now is 6 o'clock, and this morning, Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler is getting an earful from some activists. Why his words sparked peaceful protests this weekend. Plus, the talk of possible new restrictions has some local businesses nervous. What theater owners are saying about the message this week from Oregon's governor. But first, Keely Chalmers joins us live at home with our forecast. Good morning, Keely.
Hey, good morning, Galen. Yeah, another little bit of a wet day out there as we wrap up the weekend. We'll take you up to Timberline Lodge, a live look from our sky cam where it is a snowy start to this Sunday. Going to get more snow up there as the snow level drops to about pass level today. We're at 48 degrees here in the metro area, and here is how your Sunday is shaping up. We're going to be right around 55 degrees at noon. A chance of showers. We're waking up to some dry skies out there. Still some scattered showers out there in areas, and that's going to continue to be the theme as we head through the day. When we get that afternoon warming, also raises the chance for some thunderstorm activity as well, maybe even some small hail. We'll top out right around 59, 60 degrees today. We do have some warmer weather in the forecast, so we need this rain. We are going to dry out, and we're talking temperatures back in the 70s in the not-so-distant future, Galen. So we'll explore that a little bit more as we check out the extended forecast. Back to you.
Looking forward to that, Keely. Thank you very much. We begin this half hour with a big announcement in the pandemic. As coronavirus cases increase, doctors in Oregon and Washington will again use the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Now, this comes just a few days after the federal government reauthorized the shot. It was paused for more than a week after 15 people developed rare blood clots. 3 of them died, including a woman in Oregon. On Saturday, the state of Washington announced it will resume giving people the shots. The Oregon Health Authority says doctors can administer it again, too, as long as patients are informed about potential risks. Now, here's a look at those the rising numbers across Oregon. The increase could lead to a return of restrictions. There were 8 new coronavirus-related deaths reported across the state on Saturday. There are also at least 830 new and presumptive cases. Governor Kate Brown hinted during a press conference on Friday that limitations could be imposed again in at least a dozen counties. In the state's vaccination effort, the 7-day average is now more than 35,000. Now, the talk of tighter restrictions returning has many business owners concerned. With the Academy Awards ceremony tonight, this would normally be a big weekend at the movies. So our Art Edwards checks in with theater owners struggling to stay in business.
To say that the last year has been hard is a complete understatement.
Leanne Nakvazil and her family own several independent theaters across the state. They were able to reopen at the end of January, but it hasn't always been smooth going. There were restrictions about the number of people allowed in a theater and whether or not they could sell concessions.
It's honestly, it's been a yo-yo for the last year of like, you can do this and then you can't do this and then you can do that and then you can do this. And like, we totally get it.
And getting films to show has been challenging.
The studios aren't wanting to release new things right now because, they got to make their money too.
The Joy Cinema and Pub in Tigard stayed closed for nearly a year. They are back open now for limited showings.
We limit ourselves more than the state says we have to, that we have been since we've reopened. We're just selling like 30 or 40 tickets a show, and we could have 100. We just want to be careful.
On Friday, Governor Brown talked about moving some counties back into the extreme risk category. Theater owners are worried what that could mean for them.
I'm hoping that we won't have to close, and I'm sure every business is hoping that.
We are one of, how many independent theater owners that are just literally at our breaking point of like, what does the future hold?
Theater owners are hopeful they can continue to provide people with an escape.
They go there to be in a different world with different people. And, I heard someone once say that the movies is their Disneyland because they can't, afford to go to Disneyland. So going to the movies is their way to be in a different world.
Art Edwards, KGW News.
New this morning, Portland police are searching for the driver who killed a man late last night, then drove away. This was just after 11 o'clock. The crash shut down the intersection at Northeast 82nd in Alberta for most of the night. So far, the major crash team has not released any suspect information. Well, this is interesting. A small earthquake is in the books this weekend, shaking up part of eastern Washington last night. The 2.1 magnitude quake was centered south of Yakima around 5:30. The seismic activity was 11 miles underground. There are no reports of injuries or damage. A state of emergency for downtown Portland is in effect until noon tomorrow because of possible violence in the city. Now, the mayor faces criticism for remarks about dealing with rioters. Our Christelle Kumwe explains.
We must stand together as a community against this ongoing criminal intimidation and violence.
Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler first declared a state of emergency on Tuesday following the verdict in the Derek Chauvin trial. It allows the mayor to declare a curfew, close streets and other places like parking garages.
Our job is to unmask them, arrest them, and prosecute them. People know who these criminals are.
On Friday, the mayor urged people to report to authorities any illegal-looking activity. He also asked for the public to report license plates or vehicles carrying groups dressed in all black. Deputy Portland Police Chief Chris Davis joins Wheeler in the call for help.
That information could be useful later if people in the same descriptions are involved in criminal activity. It helps us piece together who was at these events.
I am wearing all black. I often wear all black. I will continue to wear all black.
On Saturday morning, this group gathered to criticize the mayor's comments. It includes activists, protesters, and community leaders.
And so when I read your response, Tevis, what I read was you trying to pull us apart.
Amber Boyston is one of the dozens of Black Oregonians who drafted an open letter this week aimed at those doing the protesting. It says in part, actions that neither increase solidarity nor broadcast purpose while making the lives of local Black communities more difficult or not acceptable. The group says while the letter also talks about concern with police violence, the mayor misused those words in his call to extend the state of emergency.
If Black people are speaking, I would appreciate if people would listen to the words that we say and read the words that we say, absorb the words that we say, think on the words that we say, but stop adding your own lens to it. Sometimes you just have to be quiet and listen.
Christelle Kumwe, KGW News.
With below average rainfall this spring and the possibility of a drought this summer, many are already getting ready for wildfire season. You can reduce the risk around your home and stop it from catching fire by clearing brush and debris away, keeping trees trimmed, and moving firewood away from your house. Also, have a plan for evacuation and a go bag with these essentials like food, clothing, water, and medicine. As wildfires become more frequent, some insurance companies are even rethinking coverage in riskier areas.
You might live in an urban setting and think to yourself, oh, well, that only happens really, really far away. Not true. I mean, double check and make sure, call your insurance agent, make sure that you're covered, make sure that you're good to go.
Experts warn if your home burns, rebuilding it can be really difficult. The price of lumber is high right now, and contractors are booked out for months. Still to come, a community rebuilding homes and relationships. We'll introduce you to the couple helping to do the hard work to get a burned neighborhood like we've been talking about back to its former glory.